start us off?
Any of guessing frustrations the main word for you there tonight,
Definitely frustrated. I thought we needed that second goal. Looked like we got it on a couple of occasions. Of course, the VAR one was really, really tight, and then Alex's chance looked a big moment in the game. And at 1-0 Everton were never out of it. They've hit the post themselves, and of course the penalty is probably the big moment.
What was your view of the penalty?
Yeah, I mean, I think when you look at it back, which I have very quickly, I think both players are grappling each other initially, but I think it's just the height of Paul's arm around Ashley's neck that swings it against us. So probably if I'm boots on the other foot, I'm wanting a pen for that.
He's not played a lot of football this season, and thrown into a game like that for the last 10-15 minutes, is it difficult for him really in those circumstances in a high-level Premier League game like that?
Yeah, I think it's always difficult when you come on late in games, especially if you're winning. I think being a defender myself, there are always difficult moments because you want to keep your concentration, you want to help your team, and Paul's been first class since I've been here. He's a really genuine, honest lad, and it's one of those moments that's gone against us, but I can't fault the players. Generally, I thought we were really committed, gave a really good performance for the majority of the game.
A brilliant moment and goal for Alexander Isak. He doesn't score simple ones, does he?
No, he doesn't tend to. I think he is a scorer of great goals. He'd probably be more frustrated about the one he missed towards the end, because that was a big moment in the game, but his goal was high level, and he is that kind of player. He's electric at the moment. His movement's really good. He looks fit. He looks confident. I thought it was a top class performance from him.
Can I just check on Lewis Hall that came off in the second half?
I think that's just more fatigue. Yeah.
Okay, Damien?
Eddie, you were so depleted again tonight. With no disrespect, you didn't have a lot of options from the bench, and when you look at the options Sean was able to bring on it, that was perhaps the difference in the last half hour maybe.
Yeah, I think when you look at with the West Ham game from our perspective, we were able to make changes, bring on very, very good players, and they made a difference for us in that game. And tonight, I was well aware that we were going to be up against it in that respect. They were able to make changes. I felt I had to be very careful with the changes that I did make. But of course, you're always talking on the back of the penalty and that moment going against us. As we stood at that moment in the game, I thought we looked defensively pretty strong, and we'd maybe weathered the storm. But unfortunately, we just couldn't get over the line.
One of the positives, particularly in the first half, Elliot Anderson's performance, how pleased were you?
Really good, yeah. I mean, Elliot's been absolutely desperate to play since his injury. He's been looking good in training. He's produced some very good performances. I think today was the perfect opportunity for him to play. He looks physically ready. I thought he gave a very good account of himself. He showed his attributes. And especially when you play a team like Everton, you need to be very disciplined and good defensively, and I thought he really helped us in that respect.
Okay, we'll go Craig, Aaron, then Dominic. Craig?
You touched on it there, the bench has won you the game on Saturday, and arguably the bench, not just Paul's foul, but the inability to change, which else has cost you 2 points here. Can you just give us an update on the players why that's changed? Livramento, Almiron, obviously Jamal, Trippier as well.
Well, Jamal's is a big injury, obviously the ACL, which is hugely frustrating for him and for us, so he'll be out long term with that. The others we don't think are serious, but when you've got a glut of games that we have, that's going to hurt us short term. So Miggy will be out around a month, we think, with a knee injury. Tino the same with an ankle injury. Kieran's not ready to play yet, so he won't be back for the Fulham game, definitely. Yeah, and that's where we are. All the others continue to be out.
Aaron?
Eddie, a really assured performance was on great tonight. How easy is it found it to move back in?
I always found it personally when I moved from full back to centre half. I found it an easier transition than the other way around. That is for sure. I thought Dan was really, really good tonight. I mean, he needed to be. The physical threat that they possess, I thought aerially he was dominant. He looks really composed, brave on the tackle. Very, very good performance from him. I'm delighted for Dan and how he's played the last few games.
And also how he was really sharp. How close do you think he is to being back forward?
Yeah, I think he's getting there. I think, again, Harvey will be pleased with today. He set the goal up. He looked in good form and he lasted the game. That's great to see. Physically, I thought he looked really strong.
Okay, Dominic?
Had a goal ruled out for offside, effort cleared off the line, Jordan Pickford doing man of the match. Do you feel you did enough to win the game?
Yeah, I do. I think we should have won the game based on the chances we had, and that's why I say the second goal was what we needed. They're always one long kick away or a set play away from hurting you. Thought we did that part of our game really, really well when you consider the youth of our team. You know, you have to stand up physically. I thought we did. Led by Dan and Fabio, I thought both had really good games. But as I say, it's that clinical edge, and scoring that second goal was what we needed.
Okay, we'll go to Lee Ryder and then Martin Hardy. Lee?
And yeah, I guess 2/3 of the game, you would probably be pretty happy with that. You were looking like the team was back to their normal selves.
Yeah, I think certainly when you rewind a few weeks ago, I think the last two performances in particular have been very strong. I think the general attitude, the way that we're trying to play is back. The identity is clear in our performance of what we're trying to deliver. For a spell, I think it was missing. So I said in many press conferences, I'm looking for performance. Between now and the end of the season, I'm looking for us to be ourselves and to grow into next season. I think this was a positive performance despite the disappointing end.
4 points from 2 games, still very much in the mix. It's far from ideal, but it's very good all the same in terms of what you've taken from the last couple of matches.
Yeah, I think every game in the Premier League, we know home or away is very difficult, and there's no certainty to anything, so you have to earn every point. It's 4 points, it's not 6. We definitely wanted 6, and I felt we deserved 6, but 4's a positive step forward, and now we go to a tough away game.
Okay, Martin and then Kieran.
Okay, what exactly have you got in Alex?
For me, an endless or limitless potential, really. I think you've got someone that's had some really good experiences in his career. So he's travelled, as a young player, he's had some experience in different leagues. He's come to us, I think, at a really good time in his career where we can hopefully develop his talents and give him a platform to show how good he is. And I think at the moment he's building in confidence all the time. He's a high-level player, and we're delighted to have him with us.
And if the club is to progress to where you want it to go, where it wants to go, is it essentially he's a part of that?
I think you have to try and keep your best players. Whether you're able to do that continually with the rules that are in place at the moment, that's always unsure. I'm not in control of that. But from my perspective, to be the team that we want to be, we have to try and keep our best players and keep improving the other way.
Thanks. Kieran?
You gained a lot of momentum from the weekend, and how important is it not to let this hold your momentum?
Yeah, I mean, I don't feel that right now. I still feel quite positive over. Really disappointed about the late goal, but quite positive over our last 2 performances. Thought today was an improvement again defensively as well. I think that's worth noting how difficult Everton are to play against. I think bar the penalty, and I think they've hit the post. Apart from that, I think we've kept them relatively quiet. And they ask a lot of questions. They put a lot of balls in the box. They chuck the ball down your throat with Pickford's long kicks. But we stood up to that challenge with a young team excellently. So I think there's a lot of positives to take from today.
I know it's very early, but the injuries at the back might influence what you do in the summer, given that they're both serious games.
Yeah, I mean, when you're missing players for that length of time, I think naturally that will impact what you're doing. You have to look at the situation that you're faced with. Good news is that they missed quite a chunk of the summer, so I don't think they'll be too far into the season when they'll be missing, but they're still going to be missing a big chunk of that early part of the season. So, and then of course, how quickly can they get back to their best form? So 2 big players for us and big characters that we're certainly going to miss.
Thanks, everybody. See you Friday. Cheers.
You want some?
Eddie, the battle to qualify for Europe is going to go down to the final few days. How important is it that you get back into Europe, and how much of a setback would it be if you miss out after everything you've done this year? Yeah,
we're looking for Europe. I've said that many times. We're determined to try and get there. I know the squad is very motivated to try and finish the season well. And we've got some big games to come.
Any more? Thank you.
Thank you. Cheers.